Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya vacha Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So we are here on a glorious Vijaya Ekadashi, and I was just kind of remembering the simplistic nature and the beautiful childlike hearts of the children and my family. And I remember Nandi was maybe about 4 years old, and she was kind of asking me about Ekadashi, why we follow Ekadashi, what is the big deal about Ekadashi, because I had her following it even at 4. Because that's what we're going to do. If we're doing this as a family, people would often ask, how do you get young children to fast? And my response was always, we make it as normal as possible. It is simply what everyone is doing. So it doesn't seem so out of routine or out of the ordinary if everyone is always simply doing this. It just is the way things are. Kind of grow up with this mood of devotion, and it's a culture of spirituality. And so that's what I often feel. Krishna consciousness is not necessarily a religion so much as it is a culture of learning God and learning to love God in a particular way. So I remember she was about 4 and she was asking me about Ekadashi and why. And I kind of told her the story of this particular Ekadashi. And we'll hear what happens. But this Ekadashi involves Lord Ram. And she happened to be a very huge lover of Lord Ram at the time. And I remember her little face kind of like lighting up and thinking, following this Ekadashi will make Lord Ram happy? I said, yes, of course. And it was as though that was all the explanation she needed. That was it. And I remember feeling as though, and just reflecting on it now, feeling as though I want to cultivate that childlike simplicity. Simplicity is said that it is at the heart of a Vaishnav. That simplicity, as opposed to a duplicitous nature, not as opposed to something complex and capable of complex thought. It is some simplicity as opposed to duplicity. We don't, once we are simple like children, we don't have to put on any acts. If children don't like something, they tell you they don't like it. If children don't understand something, hopefully we've created an environment safe enough for them to say, I don't get it, I don't understand. And so this is the kind of nature that we are hoping and praying to develop as Vaishnavas with our Lord. Something as simple as, oh, this makes my Lord happy? Then that's all I need to know. That was the nature of the gopis. The gopis heard something would make Krishna happy. They would go through heaven and hell and all the way beyond, simply to make their dearest Govinda happy. So that's what I think about when I think about this Ekadashi. So let's hear about it. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, O Lord Shri Krishna, O glorious son of Vasudeva, please be merciful to me and describe the Ekadashi that occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Falgun, February-March. Lord Shri Krishna replied, O Yudhishthira, O King of Kings, gladly I shall tell you about this great fast known as Vijaya Ekadashi. Whoever observes it certainly achieves success in this life and the next. All the sins of one who fasts on this Ekadashi and hears its sublime glories are eradicated. Narada Muni once asked Lord Brahma, who sits on a lotus flower, about the Vijaya Ekadashi. Sri Narada said, O best of all the demigods, kindly tell me the merit one can achieve by faithfully observing Vijaya Ekadashi. Narada's great father then replied, My dear son, this oldest of fasting days is pure, and it nullifies all sins. I have never revealed this to anyone until today, but you can understand beyond any doubt that this Ekadashi bestows the result indicated by its name, Vijaya, meaning victory. When Lord Ram was exiled to the forest for 14 years, he, the goddess Sita, and his divine brother Lakshman stayed at Panchavati as mendicants. Mother Sita was then kidnapped by the demon Ravan, and Lord Ram seemingly became bewildered like an ordinary man by distress. While searching for his beloved consort, the Lord came upon the dying Jatayu, and thereafter killed his enemy Kabanda. The great devotee vulture Jatayu returned to Vaikuntha after telling Ram how his dear Sita had been abducted by Ravan. Later, Lord Ram and Sugriv, the king of the monkeys, became friends. Together they amassed a grand army of monkeys and bears, sent Hanumanji, his minister, to Sri Lanka, where he was able to see Janaki, Srimati Sita Devi, in an Ashok Grove garden. He delivered Lord Ram's message and showed the ring, proving his authenticity for rendering such great service to the Supreme Lord Sri Ram. With the help of Sugriv, Lord Ram proceeded toward Sri Lanka. Upon arriving at the shore of the ocean with the army of monkeys, he could understand that the water was uncommonly deep and hostile. Thus he said to Lakshman, O son of Sumitra, how can we earn enough merit to be able to cross this vast ocean, the unfathomable abode of Varunadev? I can see no easy way to cross it, teeming as it is with sharks and other ferocious aquatics. Lakshman replied, O best of all beings, O origin of all the devas, O primal personality, the great sage Bakadalbya lives on an island just 4 miles from here. O Raghava, he has seen many Brahmas come and go, so aged and wise is he. Let us go to him, take his darshan, audience, and ask him how we can safely reach our goal. So Ram and Lakshman proceeded to the humble ashram of the incomparable Bakadalbya Muni. Approaching him, the two lords paid their respectful obeisances to him as if he were a second Vishnu. Bakadalbya could immediately understand, however, that Sri Ram was actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for his own reasons, had appeared on the earth and was enacting just like a human being. Ram, said Bakadalbya, O best of the human beings, why have you come to my lowly abode? The Lord replied, O great twice-born Brahman, I have come here to the ocean shore with my phalanx of monkeys and bear warriors in order to cross the sea and conquer Lanka and its demon horde headed by Ravan. O greatest of sages, please be merciful unto me, and please tell me how I can cross this vast ocean. That is why I have come to your ashram today. The sage said, O Lord Sri Ram, I shall tell you of the most exalted of all fasts, observing which you will surely conquer Ravan and be eternally glorified. Kindly listen now with full attention. On the day before Ekadashi, fashion a water pot of gold or silver or even copper. Even clay will do if these metals are unavailable. Fill the pot with pure water and then decorate it nicely with mango leaves. Cover it and place it near a holy altar upon a mound of 7 grains. The 7 grains are barley, wheat, rice, corn, chickpeas, kukani, and dal or peas. Now take your morning bath. Decorate the water pot with flower garlands and sandalwood paste. And in the conclave lid atop the pot, place there the barley, pomegranate, and coconut. Now with great love and devotion, worship the water pot deity form and offer him incense, sandalwood paste, flowers, a ghee lamp, and a plate of sumptuous foods. Remain there awake that night beside this sacred pot. On top of the lid filled with barley, etc., place a golden murti of Shri Narayan. When Ekadashi dawns, take your morning bath, and then decorate the water pot with fine sandalwood paste and garlands. Then worship the pot, again with first-class incense, lamps, sandalwood paste, and flowers dipped in sandalwood paste, and then devoutly and devotedly place many kinds of cooked food, pomegranate, and coconut before the water pot. Then remain awake overnight. When the Dwadasi dawns, take the water pot to the bank of a holy river, or even to the shore of a small pond. After worshipping it again properly, O King of Kings, offer it with all the aforementioned ingredients to a pure-hearted Brahmin, expert in the Vedic sciences. If you and your military commanders observe the Vijaya Ekadashi in this way, you will surely be victorious in every way. Lord Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, did just as Bhakaralbhya Muni instructed, and thus he conquered all demoniac forces. Similarly, anyone who observes the Vijaya Ekadashi in this way will always be victorious in this mortal world, and after leaving this world, he or she will reside forever in the anxiety-free realm of the kingdom of God known as the Vaikunthas. O Narada, my son, from this history you can see why one should observe this Ekadashi fast properly, strictly following the rules and regulations. This fast is powerful enough to eradicate all one's sinful reactions, even the most abominable ones. Lord Sri Krishna concluded, O Yudhishthira, anyone who reads or hears this history will attain the same great merit as that which is earned by performing a horse sacrifice in days of yore. Thus ends the narration of the glories of Falgun Krishna Ekadashi, or Vijaya Ekadashi, from the Skanda Purana. So, as I was telling Nandi about this Ekadashi, and explaining that even just remembering this Ekadashi and remembering Lord Ram gives Sri Ram such great happiness, that was all she needed to know. She didn't need to know how it worked, when it would work, any of these things. She had full faith that if an elder in her family told her something, that she could believe it with every fiber of her being. And this is what I want to continue to cultivate in my own life, which is this simple-hearted faith. Understanding that if our Srila Prabhupada has told us something, I can believe in it with every fiber of my being. It must be so. And so I was reading in the third canto, and Srila Prabhupada was speaking about the many different rules and regulations and sacrifices and all of the things that one must do when they wake up in the morning. All of the different kinds of austerities and fire yajnas. And for tens of thousands of years, people in previous ages were doing these things. And then Srila Prabhupada wrote that for us, because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, all of that can be accomplished by the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So maybe in following this Ekadashi, we don't even have a clay pot. Maybe we don't even have that to our names. Maybe we don't know how to install a deity atop a water pot. Maybe we don't have the brahmanas on speed dial, like Brahma Muhurta and others that we can call, Chadaratma Prabhu, that we can have them on speed dial and have like a dial-a Brahmin where they can install all of these things the day before our Ekadashi, the day of our Ekadashi, and on the Dwadasi, so that we can give in charity to all of these qualified brahmanas. But if we don't have all of that, it's okay. Srila Prabhupada has given us the most simplistic version. What I love is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Sri Ramachandra. First, in every moment of confusion and utter despair within Ramayana, Sri Ram does something amazing. He turns to Lakshman and says, what should I do now? Lakshman, of course, is the personification of Adi Guru. He is the first and the foremost of all spiritual masters. And so even though in the incarnation of Sri Ram and Lakshman, Lakshman was younger, Sri Ram still respected him enough to turn to him in his moments of confusion and say, what do I do now? And Lakshman was able to give him a remedy. There must be some sage that can tell us what to do. That sage was more than happy to tell them about the fasting on Ekadashi. And it does say that before crossing that river, Sri Ram fasts for 3 days. There's the Dashami, Ekadashi, and Dwadasi. And after that, he is enabled by Varunadev to cross the ocean. Some of this is a little bit, not necessarily under duress, but under the threat of severe action on the part of Sri Ram. Sri Ram threatens him that he will dry up the entire ocean. At that point, he is completely done waiting. He has been so patient. He has been so nurturing. He has been such a paragon of all etiquette. And now he has finally reached his breaking point. I'm saying enough. And so, of course, after that encounter, Varunadev recognizes and he remembers who his worshipful Lord is and enables Sri Ram with the means to cross the ocean. Of course, by building a bridge of stones with his name written on them. So once again, the holy name comes to our rescue. Srila Prabhupada, when in times of confusion, if we can access the Guru of the heart and say, oh my dear Paramatma, what do I do now? We will often see that our Paramatma inside sends us straight to Srila Prabhupada, straight to Srimad Bhagavatam, straight to some lecture. And when we are able to just follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada with all the faith and conviction in our very beings, there will always be victory. There will always be good fortune for all of us. This Ekadashi is very interesting because within Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear, if we dive deeply enough, we'll hear that this is the Ekadashi where Akura sets out to go and get Krishna Balaram from Vrindavan. He is deputed by Kamsa from Mathura to go to Vrindavan and bring back these 2 boys. So this Ekadashi is kind of special, especially for us Krishna Bhaktas. Akura is so incredibly excited. The reason for his trip is not a happy one. But anytime we are able to see the Supreme Lord face to face, we can't help but be excited. And so sometimes when I think about Akura, I think this was not a happy time, not something we want to focus on, especially for those of us who love Sri Vrindavan Dham. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, a lot of them don't even blow conch shells in the temples at the beginnings of the arti, because the last time a conch shell was blown, it was by Akura, stating that he is taking Krishna Balaram away. And so they don't want to blow conch shells because they don't even want to be reminded of that incident because it brings such pain to their hearts. However, we do understand that somehow or other, all of the pastimes of my Lord have to be beautiful in some way. This is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is beautiful. It is all beautiful, all the time. So somehow there has to be some beauty. There has to be some sweetness in these pastimes. So Garga Samhita gives a few of the prayers of Akura. And I thought, these prayers are beautiful for us every day in our lives. So this is when Akura has his famous vision. And he looks into the lake as Krishna Balaram are bathing, and then he sees Mahavishnu and Anantashesh. Aware that Shri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Akura bowed down again and again and again. Filled with joy, he folded his hands and spoke many prayers. Shri Akura said, Obeisances to Shri Krishna Chandra, the perfect Supreme Personality of Godhead. Obeisances to Sri Krishna, the master of numberless universes, the master of Goloka. Obeisances to you, the master of Radha, and the king of Braj. Obeisances to you, the son of Nanda and Yashoda. O son of Devaki and Vasudev. O Govinda. O best of the Yadavas. O master of the universes. O supreme personality of Godhead, please protect me. May my words always describe your transcendental qualities. My ears always hear descriptions of you. May my arms always work for you, and may my mind always think of your lotus feet, and my eyes always see the splendid glory of your transcendental form. And I thought, how incredibly wonderful is that? What a beautiful prayer, utilizing every limb of the body and even the mind. So one more. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, please protect me. May my words always describe your transcendental qualities. My ears always hear your descriptions. My arms always work for you. May my mind always think of your lotus feet. And may my eyes always see the splendid glory of your transcendental form. So interestingly enough, I was reflecting on this Vijaya Ekadashi about so many of the different connections between the pastimes of Sri Krishna and the pastimes of Lord Ram. Sri Krishna spends a lot of time trying to convince the gopis that he was once Lord Ram. And they keep telling him, we knew you were a liar from when you were very young. No one believes anything you say anymore. Krishna, you spend all of your time trying to prank us, and so now we won't believe you. He says, it's true, but it's true, I promise you I was. And so he has so many different pastimes, Manasi Ganga, so many different things. He's built a bridge of stones across parts of it just to show, I really was Lord Ram. And still, the gopis are skeptical. When Sri Krishna arrives in Mathura, he walks through the main road of the city. And many of us may know this. He meets very, very many people as he walks through the main city. One of them is a washerman. And this washerman was washing the clothes of the king, Kamsa. Krishna asks the washerman, "Oh, washerman, may I have some of your clothing?" And the washerman gets very arrogant. "Who do you think you are? Who are you, and how dare you ask for the clothes of the king? This cloth is not fit for village boys like you. Go away from here." Krishna says, "I'll give one last chance. Oh, washerman, please, can I have some of the clothing?" So the washerman says, "If you don't leave, I'll teach you a good lesson myself, let alone waiting for the king to come and punish you. I can punish you myself." And it says that Krishna takes his hand, kind of like an open palm, and he slaps the washerman kind of indifferently. But the man's head comes off, because that's God. And amazingly, Krishna. It is said that this washerman was previously present in Ram Leela. He was the same washerman / fisherman who had casted aspersions upon Sita Devi. He had something to say after Ram had come back and Sita was well and truly rescued, gone through fire, emerged victorious, emerged faithful and chaste. And this washerman fisherman has something to say about the royal family and about how he won't be a henpecked husband, all of these things. He says so many horrible things that cause the divine couple, both Ram and Sita, to reevaluate, to say if this is going to be a problem. So many things happen, but Sita, in essence, leaves. So this same washerman fisherman is here again, still a washerman, but now he is there with Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna, after speaking with this washerman and hearing his arrogance, because he is Paramatma, dwelling within every living entity, he remembers, it was because of this same washerman that my beloved and I were separated. This is an offense that I will not tolerate. So he tried. He gave him a good chance. But seeing as how the washerman did not want to take that chance, he was then thusly liberated. which is the nice way and the Vedic way of saying killed, at the hands of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna continues on, and I know we hear very, very famous incident in the Ramayana. Shurpanaka, the sister of Ravan, comes and wishes to have Sri Ram as her husband. Ram and Lakshman have a banter back and forth. Shurpanaka gets very upset being the subject of this banter, and she does not like it, and so she decides, let me do away with the competition. I'll eat Sita, no problem. Lakshman dutifully cuts off her nose and ears, and in many places, a few other body parts, and she runs screaming back to Ravan. So this is kind of the catalyst, in some ways, for Ravan going to kidnap Sita. And then what happens to Shurpanaka? Well, it is stated that she goes to the mountains and she performs thousands of years of penance and austerity to Lord Shiva. When Lord Shiva arrives, he says, what can I give you? She says, I wanted Ram as my husband, and I still want Ram as my husband. He says, well, I cannot give you that because my Lord has vowed to only have one wife. But if you desire to have the Supreme Lord as your beloved, okay, my blessings cannot go in vain. So, tatastu, let it be so. And so, in a next birth, as Krishna is walking through Mathura, who does he see but a hunchback named Kubja, who is a partial expansion of this very same Shurpanaka who desired to have the Lord as her beloved. So the stories of Sri Krishna and Sri Ram are doing a lot of intersecting as soon as Sri Krishna gets to the city of Mathura. Also, King Kamsa had been in possession of a bow of Lord Shiva, of which he was incredibly proud. In fact, that is the excuse that he uses to bring Krishna to Mathura. Come for the Danur Yagya. It will be a grand celebration, huge, amazing. You should come and see it. We'll have wrestlers and elephants and all kinds of things. Come and be a part of the festivities. And so Krishna, after meeting with Kubja and kind of giving her his promise that he will visit her later, he will become her beloved, no problem. And so now, this washerman is taken care of, Shurpanaka is taken care of. Now we have this bow of Lord Shiva. And just as Sri Ram previously broke a bow of Lord Shiva, Sri Krishna also breaks this bow of Lord Shiva. Nanda Maharaj, who had come with Krishna on this excursion to kind of watch over his 11-year-old boy, was very apprehensive about this. He says, this is Kamsa's favorite bow, and now you've broken it. What are you doing? Why are you so restless? And Krishna, in his very unique way, says, oh, Baba, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Don't worry. And so, it just so happens that the day that Kamsa is killed by Sri Krishna is the day of Mahashivaratri. So Mahashivaratri is coming this weekend, and that is also kind of like a Krishna Vijayotsav. It is the day that Krishna was victorious over Kamsa. And so I know sometimes we can feel a little bit apprehensive about worshipping Lord Shiva. I think after hearing about so many of the wonderful pastimes that are nestled within Srimad Bhagavatam, by hearing about so many of these wonderful pastimes, even in Garga Samhita and other places, we should no longer feel any kind of apprehension. Lord Shiva takes on the role, willfully, of being the guru of everyone. And so as we started this saying, whenever we feel like we are in turmoil and we are confused and we don't know what to do, we can run to our gurus. And our gurus will point us in the best direction for us. There were the Prachetas, located within Srimad Bhagavatam in the 4th canto. And they were also a little bit confused about how to perform their duties. And they went to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, Srila Prabhupada says, he enumerated so many different points about the chanting of the holy name, about taking darshan of the Lord. And it is there where Lord Shiva recites what is known as a portion of Srimad Bhagavatam called the Rudra Gita, the song of Lord Shiva, wherein which he prays, "Oh my Lord, if you would like to give me a benediction, then let me see that form of yours, which is held dear by your devotees. That would be the only benediction I would ask." So how incredible it is to see a form of the Lord that is worshipped by his devotees, which means that he is so incredibly merciful. It means that that form of the Lord is going to be the most compassionate. It means that form of the Lord is going to be glancing upon us with eyes filled with affection. And there are so many places within Srimad Bhagavatam where it says, I was reading yesterday that Kardama Muni had been performing thousands of years of austerities, but he didn't look emaciated because he was glowing due to being glanced at by the Lord, whose eyes were full of affection for his devotee. Kardama Muni had somehow done enough austerities to see the Lord face to face. It is in one of those purports where Srila Prabhupada states that the same result can be gained by our sincere chanting of the holy name. So on this Ekadashi, we might be burdened with some confusion, turmoil, who knows what. But we can always turn to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has given us the means. Even when we think, I cannot perform an Ekadashi Vrat or an Ekadashi vow as extensive as what used to happen in previous yugas, what do I do now? Our Supreme Lord has sent Srila Prabhupada to tell us, simply fast from grains and beans and increase your chanting of the holy name. Simply do as Akura was praying. Pray as Akura was praying. Let my eyes be forever engaged in seeing you. Let my words describe your glories. Let my ears hear your transcendental qualities. Let my two arms serve you, and let my mind remember your lotus feet. This is it. The process is simple. Simple doesn't always mean easy. We will definitely be tried and tested. Sometimes we think, why? Why? We're just trying to do our devotional service. Why do we have to be tried and tested? Well, this devotional service gives us the same merit which is earned by performing a horse sacrifice in days of yore. Do we know how many demigods did not want the people in days of yore to perform so many horse sacrifices? And here we are getting the same merit simply by hearing and reciting the glories of the Ekadashi. Forget even fasting on the Ekadashi. Hearing and reciting the glories of Ekadashi. So yes, we will be tried and tested. Because in universal affairs, everyone is going to think, you're going to become too powerful. And we have seen power corrupt even the greatest of devotees. There have been people who have somehow been corrupted by power. We had just passed Baimi Ekadashi. And we spoke about this Varahadev rescuing the earth goddess. It is said that she quickly became pregnant because she winds up marrying Lord Varaha. So Bhumi Devi quickly becomes pregnant and gives birth to a son known as Boma, one who comes from the earth, Bhumi. And so he was Boma, but due to bad association, he became Bomasura. And the Lord himself killed him. So, the universal entities and the superintendents of universal affairs have seen even the best situated people, even the son of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can go astray. They can somehow be corrupted. So we will be tried and tested. Are they for real? Do they really mean it? And we've spoken in previous lectures about Maya Devi and how she is coming to test because that is her beloved Lord. That is her very own sibling. And so she will test us. Do you mean it this time? How many lifetimes have we been saying, I promise you I will serve? So luckily, no matter what, Whatever provisions we have or do not have, whatever wealth we have or do not have, whatever qualifications we have or do not have, none of that seems to matter to our Lord now. Our most compassionate Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has sent Srila Prabhupada as a grand general of devotional service to spread the most simple method. Simply fast from grains and beans and increase your chanting of the holy name. Just do your best. That I can do. Along with trying to develop a simple, natured heart, I can do my best. Thank you all devotees for tolerating me. Thank you for letting me talk at you for however long. And thank you for always encouraging me every single Ekadashi. It becomes such a favorite. Shri Ekadashi Devi Ki Jai.
Acyuta Gopi, wonderful class. Thank you. Take away. Be childlike. Become childlike. Chant Hare Krishna. Increase the quality of your chanting. Remember Lord Ram. Try to please Lord Ram, Lord Krishna. Read the Bhagavad. Show up for class. Give class. Hear the class. Wonderful. Wonderful class. Okay, dear devotees, time to reflect. Time to ask questions. Time to raise concerns, if any. Do you have any concerns, Bhima Prabhu? You look very concerned. You're either eating. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. All right. Shave. You're. Okay.
I believe you're not supposed to shave on Ekadashi, right? Right?
It's true.
I'll put my knife away then. I was sharpening it, razor sharp. I would like to say something that prior to joining morning Bhagavatam class for the Bhakti Center, I had never heard Acyuta Gopi give lectures before, but one thing I had heard, not you guys, stop it, I'll be right out, that's a rooster. What I always heard was Acyuta Gopi's kirtans. I heard her in Poland during Woodstock. I saw literally hundreds and hundreds of people jumping up and down like a rave. I was, what does one say? I was like a fan. I was a fan. And now I get to speak with her, and I just, I don't know, I'm blushing like a little girl or something like that at a Beatles concert. But anyways, your music, whenever I introduce somebody to kirtan, like via, of course, via the internet, like you meet a friend or something, like, let me turn you on to this, and your kirtans, especially at those concerts where they can see people like themselves letting go and chanting with their arms in the air like they just don't care. And I use Acyuta Gopi's kirtans as the introduction to the joy and enthusiasm and abandonment to Krishna consciousness, that same type of abandonment that Acyuta Gopi has when she tells us these stories of Krishna and Ram. So thank you very much for allowing me to be an audience to your Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I was just reflecting on Polish Woodstock. There is nothing like those Polish Woodstock festivals, I feel, in the entire planet. There were literally hundreds of thousands of people. They were not devotees. They simply knew that the Krishna village, which was our little setup there, run by our fearless leader, Indradumna Maharaj, they knew that the Krishna village had amazing kirtan going all the way till 4 a.m, and they had great food. And they were the least costly food in the whole Woodstock area. But they would swarm in, and I remember thinking the very first time I'd gone there, this is what Mahaprabhu's mercy looks like. Because there's no reason that all of that should have worked that way. I had seen people come to Badahari Prabhu's his kirtans, and they were in bliss. They would not want to stop chanting. They would yell for an encore. And these are all like 20-something-year-olds who hardly spoke a lot of English and came for a rock concert with other rock people there. So like there would be other famous musicians there in different parts of the field. And they would all flock to our tent to see Badahari Prabhu, who is not the look of a rock star. There was no reason why any of that should work. And I remember thinking, this is Mahaprabhu's mercy. Mahaprabhu is reaching out with his long, long arms and showering mercy on everyone. So I was reflecting on that these past few days, because next week I leave to go to Rishikesh to join Indradumna Maharaj for his Rishikesh Kirtan Fest. So I'll be in India for another 2 weeks. So I might miss that next Ekadashi. But it will be because I'm serving somewhere. So please know that I haven't abandoned you all. But yeah, I was just thinking about that, because he is bringing Mahaprabhu's mercy back again to Rishikesh. And it is resounding with the holy names. And one thing I know about Rishikesh is people love to chant the holy names. I've spent lots of time doing different little harinams in Rishikesh, and every time it is amazing. Everyone loves to chant the holy names. Even the cows. They come up and they love to just be around the kirtan of the holy names. So I'm really eager to get that vibe again of Polish Woodstock Festival, but this time in Rishikesh. And yes, Damodar Priya is saying kirtan till 4 a.m. Yes, absolutely. It would be till like 2, 3, 4 a.m. And usually it was however long we could talk Madhava into going, because they would not want to stop chanting.
They also crowd surf.
Yeah.
Do you remember that crowd surfing?
You can't forget the crowd surfing.
Throwing himself out in the crowd.
Chadaratma was the king of crowd surfing. He became our transcendental Sting from the Police.
Yeah, Chadaratma, he does the look part. He looks like a rock star 100%.
He does. He looks like Sting. I tell him he should get royalties.
Acyuta Gopi, is Rishikesh where they burn all those bodies? Is that the death place?
No, that's usually Varanasi.
Oh, Varanasi, right.
But you will see some of them. But it's because it's the banks of the Ganga, so where else to go?
So, yeah, sure, the kirtan where there's Indradumna Maharaj and Acyuta Gopi and all the wonderful devotees, it will make the deceased people chant also, right?
Everyone
report
chants.
back if you got somebody to chant in that condition.
I'll report back.
Thank you. Okay, it's darshan time. Okay. Domi is going to facilitate. Thank you, Domi. Unmute, please.